And just trying to stop the clapping, whooping, and the cheering, Brickner-Wheatley!
Well, hello, Barnsley. I am so glad to be here in Barnsley, actually. Anybody want to guess why? Jill, any ideas? Actually, the sunshine is high on the list. It has been a beautiful day. But yeah, no, it's actually because I live in Wakefield. I've noticed, you can totally tell from my clear Yorkshire accent. I'm obviously originally from here. But yeah, no, it's amazing that they let us in Wakefield out. Quite a lot of us they actually don't. But we will be getting to back to that later, so keep that in mind. But yeah, does anyone here happen to live near a school?
Yes.
Okay. And don't worry, it's not in like the weird Jimmy Savile, Philip Schofield, Jeffrey Dahmer kind of sense. No, I live very close to a school, and there is a bus stop that I have to use sometimes around the time when school is getting out. Yeah, I'm an nurse, clearly. Now, yeah, I've been very relieved that it's been half term lately because these teenagers are freaking feral. Like, you guys ever seen 40, 13-year-olds all queued up for a bus? Like, they're gonna pickpocket you. And not for your wallet. They just want your vape. It's disturbing. But yeah, so I've been dealing with this lately, and luckily the school has apparently noticed, because they've got some people out to watch the kids now. They got them these high-vis vests and everything, they're pink. I was like, oh man, did Vico Ven really sell out all of the actual yellow ones? Is there a shortage in this country? At some point, I figured out they weren't roadworks people, they were there to watch the kids. And it was kind of like, all right, because the kids were slightly better behaved at first. And then, and it's a good thing. These kids should not be vaping. They shouldn't be getting dependent on nicotine. It could ruin their lives. And the thing is, I was vaping. And one of these people in the pink jackets came up to me and thought I was one of the kids. And they were like, you are going to ruin your life. You are never going to get into Cambridge. It's a little late for that, I think, lady. I'm like, no, but really, I'm an adult. And she looks at me and she verifies a few different times. She's like, oh my gosh, you actually are a real person. I was like, what kind of message is this sending to the kids lately? These poor kids are just being all listening, like, oh, we're not real people. I am American, if you haven't figured out the accent yet. I'm sorry, first of all. Clearly I live over here, so, I'm not big into that whole, America thing. But I will say, they did teach us when I was in school that, any one of us could be president someday. It's been working out great lately, hasn't it? But yeah, I'm like, so apparently in this country, they're telling these kids they're not real people. Like, that's a great message. And the lady is like, you can skip the queue. You can go all the way up to the front and get priority for the bus over all of these not real people. And I'm kind of thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, this is sending a terrible message to the youth of Wakefield. But I'm also running slightly late. I'm like, well, I do benefit here, don't I? So yeah, I totally took them up on the offer, skipped to the front of the queue, got to be up there with some very elderly people. I don't think they liked me vaping much either, but it was not under the covered part, so it's totally legit. Yeah, so this is all crazy, and then I get on the bus, I get down to Wakefield, and the thing is, I actually need a vape. This is why I wasn't too concerned about getting pickpocketed by one of them ferals. Because if they did actually manage to get one of them, there was like 4 puffs left on the thing. Wasn't gonna completely ruin their life. Not like those cigarette machines when I was in Germany that were like, you can be this tall to smoke. As soon as you can reach the damn thing. No wonder I'm addicted to nicotine. But yeah, so I get down to Wakefield, I need a vape, and I go into this Polish shop. And I get up to the front of the queue. Actually, there is no queue. It's like 2 o'clock. There's nobody in the Polish store at 2 o'clock. I get up there, and I order a vape. Dude behind the counter was like, I'm going to need to see some ID. I'm like, really? Twice in 20 minutes, I've been mistaken for like a 14-year-old? Like, I mean, this is, I suppose, flattering, but, like, are you guys blind or something? Anyway, so I'm digging around my purse. I get out the American passport. And the second the guy sees the blue cover, oh man, everything changes. Suddenly I'm a celebrity. And it goes from, are you old enough to vape, to, what are you doing in my Polish shop? As if, like, you can't just go into a Polish shop. I'm like, clearly I'm here buying a vape, dude. Why do you think people are coming in here? Anyway, then I get all offended, because I'm like, I actually did used to live in Poland. And I'm like, I need some pierogi, actually. No, I didn't actually. I was going to Huddersfield. I didn't have anywhere to refrigerate them. But either way, there were legitimate reasons why I would be in a Polish shop. I was very upset that I was being, discriminated against in this way. But yeah, so I eventually got out of there. And, it's been an interesting journey. I definitely didn't plan to be living in Wakefield as a 38-year-old widow. It wasn't really, Cambridge was probably higher on the list, and I don't think that was on the list. So. But yeah, so my partner had the house in Wakefield when we met, and I was living in Bucharest in Romania. And I had a pretty great life there. Penthouse, shops open 24 hours, nightclubs, everything you could ever want. In Wakefield, you're very lucky if the Polish store is open at 9 p.m. Yeah, cultural. But yeah. But the thing was, so I'm in Bucharest, and my partner invites me to come visit in Wakefield. And I said, we're completely in love. And I'm like, yes, of course, I would love to come visit you, Nigel. I said, you're going to have to tell me where it is, though. He's like, Jen, you have a master's degree, Google it. So I Google it. And I'm like, oh, that's adorable. It's right in the middle. It's perfect. He said, Jen, don't ever tell them it's in the middle. They will hurt you. I'm like, it's in the geographic middle of the country, though. He's like, technically you're correct. But again, it's not in the middle. I'm like, okay, it's not in the middle. Where is it?
No!
Exactly. I like that response. It is very much in the north. And I'm now very much aware we are in the north. But at the same time, I was having a hard time grasping this concept back then, and I was like, okay, so where does the north start? He said, oh, that's a tough one. He says, your friend Alex that lives in Birmingham? I said, yeah. He said, some people think Alex lives in the north. I think we can all agree that that shouldn't be the case, but we all know people that do think that. And, so I'm pushing it. I'm like, it's not in that is clearly not in the north. I'm like, but, how is this concept defined? He said, some people think anything outside the M25 is the north. I said, even Brighton? He said, even Brighton. vastly odd concept, I find. But yeah, I always found it a bit strange because obviously, what is Wakefield most famous for? Anybody? Yes, rhubarb. We love rhubarb. Rhubarb is a wonderful answer. But other than rhubarb.
Rhubarb. Wakey wines.
Wakey wines, yeah, we're on the map. The correct answer is the prison.
Jimmy Savile.
The correct answer is the prison. And it is very strange, I thought, that they put it right in the middle of the country. The geographic middle.
No.
But it's in the middle on the map. And you can be in London in 2 hours, Edinburgh in 3. But I'm sure if anyone escaped those orange barriers at Westgate Station, those are definitely going to stop them. I've never seen anyone evade those things. They're foolproof, completely foolproof. And even if they did manage to get on an LNER down to London, I'm sure those conductors, they are so well compensated. They are so happy with their jobs. They are definitely going to be up for wrangling a serial killer out of the bathroom. Certainly well before the train gets to Peterborough. You know what I'm saying?
They don't say running.
Well, there are today, but there might not be tomorrow. We don't know. But yeah, I think that's all I got for tonight. I've been Jeanette Wheatley. You guys have been wonderful.